something we all share is New York City. Like that's our identity. So, and in the end of the day, like we want it to feel like New York. Everything we do visually, like it's got to feel like New York.
My name's Sebastiano.
My name's Francisco.
What's good? I'm Yoshi.
What's good? Elijah Judah.
What's up? My name is Zoran Mamdani.
Mad long. We went to high school together. Shout out high school. Shout out New York. Shout out the train. Shout out public school. Shout out Metro cards.
Shout out the green student Metro cards. Y'all don't even know about that. You only know the yellow ones. We had the green joints because we were students and we got free subway rides, and that was awesome. And we've known each other for over a decade. Swag, YOLO, swag.
Our message is that we are the best ever of all time, and that we are everything, and that we love everything, and we experience everything all the time, and that sometimes you just have to experience everything all the time.
We the best.
We the best.
That was a deep question. Yeah, we actually got that choice. Yeah, honestly, there is, in all seriousness, yeah, I feel like we are very like regular people, and I feel like that comes through in the music, and we don't try and fake anything and try and be things where we aren't, and I feel like that comes through in the honesty and vulnerability and the fun parts of the music and the serious parts of the music, and I feel like it's a little bit of everything for everyone. And that comes through because we are a little bit of everything from everyone.
Yeah, I think also because like we all have mad like different unique stories. I feel like of just like where we come from and like how we came together also. And I feel like literally we kind of do. We don't represent everything, but we are like a lot of different parts of New York. We all come from different parts of New York. We all have different like like cultural backgrounds and everything. So I feel like that 100% is in the music, and talked about just like in our daily lives as friends. Like we're always putting each other onto so many different things just from our childhood and everything.
I think that because we've been friends for so long and we were friends before we were a band, being vulnerable is a lot easier, and we are all very honest with each other about what we think is good and what we think is not good, and in the early stages of making music, nothing's off limits. Everything gets recorded. Everything gets put there. And then we assess afterwards, and we're all very honest about how we feel about those things. And it just makes us stronger.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's definitely seamless because of like what Elijah said. Like we have our own dynamic. We've known each other for so long, so we can be honest with each other. So it's not like nothing's like passive or like, we put all our ideas down and figure it out after. So making the music is definitely... It's definitely pretty seamless, yeah.
We have disagreements. We had in the process of making an album a bunch of disagreements, but I think that they kind of worked themselves out because we like sat with things for a while and had a few different versions of things, and like eventually there was like ended up being an answer that we were all like okay with. You know what I mean? Like it starts out as a disagreement, but then like we have the untitled link. We can all listen to the music, and then like somebody comes around and they're like, you know what, you're not wrong. You know what I mean? And then it kind of works out. So.
Also in the music creation process, it's like, because there is 5 people, like flipping on its head, like, you kind of have to like lock in. If you're like 30 minutes in and like everyone's kind of not feeling it, you feel that. And it doesn't even become necessarily a disagreement, it's just kind of like a, all right, next. Like, and it's like healthy. I think we also like live in our own musical worlds also. So it's always like Elijah's doing something that I don't do. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to trust Elijah like Yoshi all the time. Yoshi brought 3 beats out that were like, literally dead on the slab, and he's like, no, I got this, and like they made the album, and like I would have thought they weren't gonna make the album. So
like Jackson was saying, we all like make different types of music, we each have our own sound, but something we all share is New York City. Like that's our identity. So, and in the end of the day, like we want it to feel like New York. Everything we do visually, like it's got to feel like New York, and because that's all we know really. So
yeah, I want to make music that feels lived in, just like there was like 3 months where I like lost my earbuds, but I didn't feel like spending $20 and getting a new pair. So whenever I was outside, I just raw dog's life and then listen to music. So I feel like a lot of the stuff I made for a minute was just like inspired by the first bite of a bacon, egg, and cheese, or like seeing like someone wiling out on the street, like someone fighting on the street, like, you know, that's what I'm inspired by. The first bite of a bacon, egg, and cheese.
Well, it's ironic because we talk about this feeling actually a lot. Like, we made the album in Pennsylvania, in like my family's home, like in the sticks, in like a super small town called Hawley. And we all said that we felt like we channeled New York more because we were away from it. So, like, you know, when you're away from something, I feel like it naturally, like, even like right now, like we're on tour, like in the car, we're just like, fuck, like we wish we were in New York, like fuck, you know, like. I mean, I think obviously we like looked up to so many groups that have come in New York, and so many groups that we're like friends with that in New York in the scene, and like they're all super inspiring, and like, I don't know, I just feel like something we talk about a lot is like being synonymous with New York, and like how can we really make a stamp on this city in a way that like hasn't been done in a really long time. I think that would be like the pinnacle of WHATMORE being like a success in my head, if we are just synonymous with the city.
I like Elijah's durability on this tour, lugging through everything with that broken foot, getting through it. He's a campione.
I like Seb because we share like the same eating cycles, and I'm usually always hungry. And then when I have to eat, I'll be like, Seb, you hungry? And then I have someone on my side to get us to eat food.
Fucks. Now we're just left with us three. I was gonna say something about you. I'll say something about Yoshi. A nice thing about Yoshi is that he could talk to anyone in a room, and I feel like that's like really comfortable. Him being my bestie in life, that I feel like he could always just talk to people. Because sometimes I am very loud, but sometimes I feel like, you know, you get that social anxiety of just like, what's going on? And I feel like Yoshi can talk to a lot of people, so that's cool.
Thing about Jackson is he's very good at guitar, and he brings a really nice flavor to this group. He's probably the furthest out of the genre that we all kind of live in, so it's very refreshing. And he's our white savior, so you know, we love a good white savior. To succeed in America, you kind of have to have one, so at least one. I also like that Jackson and Seb both, they're our whites, but they're broke whites, so you know, they're not a rich white. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but you know, overall it's good. My life is full of broke whites.
All these people are crazy. They're